Alrighty, hi and welcome to day 25 of the 30-day video challenge. And today our question is, what possibilities are hiding in your lymph? And up on the screen here, you will see that I've got lymph is a colorless fluid containing white blood cells that bathe the tissues and drains through the lymphatic system into the bloodstream. And I think the lymph is one of the most underutilized systems in the body, and it's one of the most overlooked systems in the body. And when I'm talking about possibilities, I'm talking about points of view. I'm talking about information. I'm talking about ideas. Usually when there's something going on in the body, there's something that you've been ignoring. And if you can turn around and acknowledge it and listen or see whatever your gift might be of what possibilities that information is trying to tell you, then you can often get resolution to whatever is going on in your body. So that's the lymph. And actually the Wikipedia here, I'm going to bring it down here. It says that lymph is the fluid that circulates through the lymphatic system, and the lymph is formed when the interstitial fluid, that's the fluid that lies in the interstices of all body tissue, is collected through the lymph capillaries or capillaries. So I've got some pictures here that I want to pull up for you, and I'm just going to have to move it here. So this is actually the Mayo Foundation, and when the medical profession looks at your lymph, this is actually what they're looking at. They're looking at all these little nodes. This green here is what it looks like. You can actually see that it connects into the bone marrow, connects into the thymus, connects into the liver, the spleen. So you've got a lot of places that your lymph system is responsible for cleaning. That's the lymph's job. It's to take the nutrients in and get the crap out. And if it backs up for any reason, then you start becoming toxic, and that stuff that needs to get out is having a hard time because it gets out through the blood, which is what the lymph and the blood communicate together. So I've actually, so right here, and you can't really see, I'm going to sit up. Right here under your collarbones is actually the two big valves which sit, here's the two collarbones, see one right there, and you've got one right here. And they actually will drain into the heart. So if you can just tap on those 2 points right there, and you want to tap it just enough that your and I need my mic. I always forget my microphone. You think I'd get it together here at some point. If you can tap just hard enough for your voice to just skip. And then that way you're not tapping too hard, but you're tapping just enough to open up these lymph valves right here that drain into the heart. And interestingly enough, on this particular picture, they don't show it draining into the heart. But if you get on there and look at lymph drainage, it will definitely show you that. So you've got lymph in here, right in your arms, and you can actually see it come down through the umbilical cord, down through, and actually interestingly enough, this actually follows the psoas muscle. The psoas muscle sits right under these. So when the psoas muscle is playing up, we actually call it psoriasis. That's kind of what it sounds like. So if you have a little bit of a pain in the butt, then you've got something going on with your psoas, which makes you have a psoriasis. So I go to the lymph system more often than not when there's that pain in that low back, sciatica heading down the legs. So lymph system, and it also works into the bone marrow, as you can see right here. Thymus, liver, spleen. So when you're doing the body processes, Access has body processes, and you're working on the thymus, liver, and the spleen, you're actually opening up that lymph to flow and to move and to clean out. So it's very, 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 very important. All right. So when the medical profession looks, this is what they're looking at. Now, I actually took some pictures off my kinesiology chart that I've got sitting behind me. You can actually see it right here. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like when I'm looking at the lymph system, because yes, I need the anatomy, and yes, I need the physiology, but then I need that little bit more of information. So let me pull this up for you. Whoa, look at that. So you've actually got anterior, which is the front of you, and posterior, which is the back of you. So we're actually looking at the anterior neurolymphatic and neurovascular reflex points. So neurolymphatic means nerves and lymph, and neurovascular means nerves and blood. So the blue ones are actually the neurovascular, which you actually find on your head. So if you've actually got some sore points on your head, you can actually come here. The numbers, they've actually numbered them just so they're easy to find. So if you say, you know, biceps number 6. So look at this. This is really interesting. If you look at these points here and you correlate them to the running the actual access bars, you've got tunnels of time and space, and then you've got joy and sadness. Look at this. You're actually making a difference in the lymphatic system and the neurovascular points in the body. So just keep that in mind when you're, and look at this one here. This is part of the bridging bar. So you've got the diaphragm, you've got serratus, anterior levator scap, supraspinatus. I mean, this is all the shoulder stuff. So when you're touching that bridging bar, you're actually affecting the shoulders when you're running that bridging bar, because you're stimulating the neurovascular reflex points. So, you know, if you're just thinking you're running bars, then you might want to see what possibilities you're actually hiding when you're running bars, because you're affecting the whole body when you're doing that. And if you don't know what the access bars are, you can message me. If you go to accessconsciousness.com and look up the bars, B-A-R-S, you can learn more about it. But look at this. You've got all these points, and if any of these points are sore on you, you need to look at what you're eating. You need to look at your emotions. You need to look at your structural integrity. You need to look at the energy of things. So, and this is just the anterior portion. So to get lymph flowing, you can actually get in there and stimulate this, like this one here, neck reflexes, point right under the clavicle here, which happens to be very close to that lymphatic point. So you get in there. If that's sore, you get in there and you just rub on it and tap on it, and usually it'll clear out and it won't be so sore, and you'll get those lymph flowing. So that's the anterior. I mean, look at this. You've got lower, you've got tensor fascia latae, glute max. Now just remember that all of these muscles, which is what they are related to an organ, and we did talk about that. So here is the posterior. Let me make sure that's looking good for you. So this is the back of you, and you can actually see, look at this, when you're running we got crown and vista, you got tunnels, what is it, circular manifestation. If you look at that, you're affecting the neurovascular again. It's pretty cool. I don't know about you, but it's pretty cool. So you're actually asking that lymph system to flow, which is why people feel so good when they get off your table. Now, is it the only thing it does? No, but it's, you know, look, you know, you have to look at the anatomy and have some fun with it. Alrighty, so right here on the back of the neck, you got the trap, the upper trap, and the supraspinatus. And look at all the ones down the spine. Each spinal level actually is related to a muscle, which is related to an organ. And I'm actually going to take a picture of that and just show you what muscles are related to what organs, so that you get a visual of what's going on anatomy-wise. But one of my favorite things, I had a massage practitioner who did lymph work, but she also did some other stuff. And when she combined it all, what she would do is she would take her massage tool, and it was really cool. It was a handle, and out of the handle had a prong, and she would go down each one of these lymphatic points on my spine, each one of these. Oh my gosh, it just felt so good. So, you know, when you're running bars, when you're running body processes, you know, you're switching that body on for it to function. So this is the lymph system. So there's actually a whole load more to the lymph system that I want to share with you, but that's what I got for you today. So let's see what day 26 brings us, because this is day 25, and y'all have a great weekend. I'll talk with you soon. Bye now.